With Simon Borg, I'm Jason Sagini, and we're here to preview the semifinal matchup in CONCACAF Champions League between the LA Galaxy and Monterrey from Mexico. That game 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday night on Fox Soccer Channel. And Simon, Monterrey, two-time defending CONCACAF champions. What do we expect from this team?
Well, Jason, a lot of people in Mexico thought this cycle from Monterrey was over. At the beginning of this year, they stumbled in Liga MX, but under the old hand of Victor Manuel Vucetich, they're clicking again. Undefeated in 5 matches in all competitions, and they're coming off a 3-0 victory. This team is as tough as they've ever been.
As tough as they've been and have plenty of firepower. For more on this matchup, let's head out to San Francisco, where our own Matt Doyle and Dan Hayek have the scouting report.
Thanks, guys. Matt, on Monday at LA practice, Bruce Arena said that both Robbie Keane and Landon Donovan will be available against Monterrey. But do you expect either of them to start? And if Keane doesn't, who takes his place up top?
Bruce says a lot of things in situations like this. He's famous for some misdirections. Clearly, Donovan's going to be available. He played the last half hour or so against Toronto FC, fluffed his one chance, but did look fit. So I think you could see him probably coming in as a second half sub. I doubt he's going to be 60 minutes or 90 minutes fit rather. Keane, I don't know. You don't know. Nobody really knows except him and Bruce. If he can't go, I would expect Jose Villarreal, who of course had that spectacular goal. I'm more of a fan of Jack McBean just because I like the number 9 physical presence, the way he can punish a central defense. Either of those two guys is a good option though, and I think the two of them together, that's also a good option as well. And you know what? Roll the dice with the kids. That's what I would do if I was Bruce.
All right, on the flip side, Monterrey has arguably the toughest strike partnership in the region, in CONCACAF, with Humberto Suazo and Aldo de Nigris. Just this past weekend, Suazo scored a goal and set up 2 others. This partnership wrecks teams.
Yeah, they do. They just destroy teams, and because they're perfectly complementary. De Nigris is really a number 9. He can put his back into a defender, hold the ball up, create plays with his back to the goal, but he's also mobile, and he's smart about where he goes mobile, and he can flare out and create for Suazo, who darts in between. Suazo, by the way, leads Liga MX in assists at the moment, and he's a goal machine. So they can create when it's just the two of them, but they also create within the bigger picture of the team, which plays beautiful continuity soccer. They play possession and they build chances out of that. They wreck teams, Dan. And they're really, really tough to stop. Omar Gonzalez is gonna have to be huge, and I'm a little concerned about him because he played 180 tough minutes last week for the US, 90 tough minutes, got burnt at the end by Luis Silva. You wonder if he's gonna be fresh, and he needs to be.
All right, well, that's the scouting report from us. Let's kick it back to the guys in New York.
Defending against these key players for Monterrey is going to be key, and Greg Lawless has more on that out in LA.
Obviously, one of the biggest questions for the LA Galaxy as they face Monterrey is what to do about Aldo de Nigris and Chupete Humberto Suazo, the 2 strikers for Monterrey. These 2 guys are sort of power and panache. Suazo, very crafty on the ball, knows how to finish when he gets in that position, but a very good creator as well. De Nigris, strong on the ball, a target man, can knock the ball down. After training on Tuesday, Omar Gonzalez, the center back for the Galaxy, said he's going to deal a lot with De Nigris. He's a little bit more worried about him. He's going to allow Juninho and Marcelo Sarves to deal a little bit more with Suazo when Suazo drops back. A nice little bit from Jose Villarreal, the young striker for the Galaxy. He said, regardless of who they're taking on, the 2-time CONCACAF Champions League winners Monterrey, we can play with anyone.
They're obviously a very good team, you know. They're the defending champions of this tournament, so it's gonna be tough. But I mean, you got to come out with the right mentality and the right focus, and we'll be fine.
Really, it's just another game, but you know, I'm not trying to put too much other pressure on me. There is no other pressure. I just got to go out there, play the way that I have been playing, and you know, everyone, if we show up to play the way we have been with the right attitude, then we should be fine.
It's a very difficult game. We know that, and I think they know that as well. And I'm hopeful we position ourselves where we can go to Monterrey next week and try to advance.
In this circumstance, we have to be very good defensively because you don't want to give up a goal. If you give up a goal, it puts you really behind the 8 ball. So in that way, it changes a little bit, whereas in a normal home game, we might be a little more aggressive in that way. Even if you give up a goal, you can still get the goals back and win. But here, we want to be smart in that way while also still doing the things we're good at and trying to create chances and score goals.
Thanks, Greg. Remember that away goals count in this competition, so it is going to be key for the LA Galaxy to keep Monterrey off the board. And who, of course, are they going to rely on? Omar Gonzalez. Who better for more on that than our own Corey Gibbs?
Thanks, guys. Omar Gonzalez is coming off a stretch with the national team where he was arguably one of the best players on the field for the U.S. On Wednesday, he'll be with the LA Galaxy where they'll be faced off against one of the top Mexican sides, Monterrey, in a critical Champions League semifinal matchup. Gonzalez put in a sensational 90-plus minutes against Mexico last week, and when he takes the field on Wednesday, he'll need to maintain his form against a potent offense led by forwards Aldo de Negris and Humberto Soazo. He'll also be matching up on set pieces with a familiar face, Monterrey midfielder Jesus Zavala, who went the full 90 minutes himself last week in the World Cup qualifier for the Mexican squad. At 6'5", he'll be the main target for Monterrey in the box. Gonzalez has been playing extremely well, but he can't get complacent against a Monterrey side that is full of offensive threats. However, I have very little doubt that my top-rated center-back this season will be able to use his international experiences and lead his back line in preventing Monterrey from creating any dangerous chances.
Well, Omar Gonzalez is going to play a huge part in this series. Simon, give me your final thoughts before we head into leg one.
Well, Jason, Monterrey, not the greatest team away from home. In fact, they've not won any of the 6 matches they've played on the road in Liga MX. But regardless of how good Monterrey is at the Home Depot Center, for the Galaxy, it's about not conceding goals, keeping it tight, because when they go to Monterrey, that counterattack from the Galaxy can have some success.
All right, that game again, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday night on Fox Soccer Channel. Don't miss it.